Councilmember Raul Ureña and Calexico Mayor Pro Tem Gilberto Manzanares have been officially recalled. The official final results for the recall election just came in Monday. And today, more than 70% of all the votes counted were in favor of recalling both Ureña and Manzanares.
So today, we're going to talk about one of the most liberal towns in America recalling its first transgendered mayor, and now that mayor is screaming transphobia. Let's talk about it. Okay, so this is Mayor Raul Ureña, elected into office in 2020 at the age of 23, and this person got 70% of the vote. Now, before we get into why this liberal city kicked out its first transgender mayor, we have to talk about the past mayors and the level of corruption in this particular town. As an example, back in 2020, their former mayor was sent to federal prison for taking bribes in exchange for guaranteeing city permits for the cannabis business.
News out of Calexico tonight, though. The former mayor is headed to prison. 37-year-old David Romero was sentenced to 2 years for taking bribes in exchange for guaranteeing a city permit for a cannabis business. He and another city employee, Bruno Suarez Soto, have admitted they have taken other bribes in the past as well. Now, we are told by the U.S. Attorney's Office that the men met with an undercover FBI agent 3 times. The deal included more than $52,000 to again guarantee city action. Both men resigned from the city in June of 2020 as part of their plea agreements and will now serve their time.
So now that mayor went to federal prison. But the next mayor, Rosie Fernandez, she's got issues too. She pleaded guilty to 4 DUIs, and the court had to install an alcohol detection device in her car. So people said she needed to go too. Check it out.
Also want Mayor Rosie Fernandez to resign.
Resignation from Rosie. Rosie has 4 DUIs, accumulated 4 DUIs. That 1 got dismissed and 3 got put into 1. She's corrupt because no one else would have gotten away with 4 DUIs.
Now, that mayor lost her re-election bid shortly after. So Raul Ureña seemed like a godsend. A fresh face, new ideas, looking to stamp out the corruption. Now, at the time of his election, Raul was openly gay, and people still overwhelmingly voted for him. He got over 70% of the vote in the town. Now, we gotta fast forward to October 2022, where a state audit dropped a bombshell. It revealed that Calexico had been in financial crisis for over a decade, with waste, fraud, mismanagement, you name it. Budgets were based on unreliable data, and the general fund has been in deficit for years. Now, despite this horrible audit, Ureña was reelected in November 2022 and publicly came out as gender fluid and transgender. Ureña even changed his pronouns from he to she, they, and began wearing dresses and makeup in official appearances. Now remember, this is a very heavily Democratic city. Again, between 75 and 85% of the voting population is registered as Democrat. Now, crime started exploding in Calexico, and the border town started seeing homeless encampments spring up in downtown with things like feces on the sidewalk. So because things weren't going as well as they had hoped, the citizenry there in Calexico decided to start a recall petition against the mayor.
With high tension stirring up, Hurtado wants to set the record straight about the true reasons behind the recall.
As a recall group, we intend to ensure that this discussion is everything about our needs. And right now we feel that our needs are not taken care of.
See, it's like a TV show, okay? It's like a TV show right now, and we need to do something, okay? Because it's like a show opera or what, like it is, you know? So we need a change. Well, I don't want to get into if you are gay or whatever, you know. I don't want to get in touch with that, you know. But what I'm saying is something needs to be done. So if you are going to be in the city council, you should respect everybody else, okay? That's my point of view.
Now, there's some facts that we have to recognize with this story. Number one, they voted Ureña in when they knew he was gay. They re-elected elected him knowing that he's gay. And when things kind of hit the fan, that's when they're asking for a recall, as they did with the previous mayor. But Urena says, no, this is not because he's gay. This is all because he's transgender now, and that transphobia is the reason for the recall.
Mayor Ureña thinks the recall was launched because he identifies as transgender.
I feel like they're stirring up a lot of hate, a lot of personal attacks, especially towards myself as a transgender person or as a gay person. And their recall, not that it doesn't have any merit, it has very little merit to what they're making it out to be. It's probably like 90% hate and 10% valid claims, of which we're working on for sure as a city.
So let me get this straight. This extremely liberal town elects a man who happens to be gay to be mayor. They re-elect him. Things aren't going well. They recall him. And now the mayor's saying it's really because the whole town is transphobic. Matter of fact, he says it's because he's gay. So why the hell did they elect him to this post in the first place with over 70% of the vote? So with that as the backdrop, the election took place, whether to recall this mayor. Remember, a vote for recall, the mayor was saying was a vote for transphobia, and the other side was saying a vote for recall was a vote to hold the mayor accountable. So after the citizens went to the polling place, come to find out, more than 70% voted to kick this mayor out of office.
New numbers are in regarding last night's recall vote in Calexico. Voters are deciding on whether or not council members Raul Ureña and Gilberto Manzanares should be removed from office. And new results show close to 2,800 in favor of removing Ureña from office. Almost 1,000 votes are against the recall. On to Mayor Pro Tem Gilberto Manzanares. Here's what the updated numbers show. There are more than 2,700 votes in favor of recalling Manzanares from office. There are only 1,000 votes opposed to the recall. These are the initial results, and they won't be finalized for several weeks.
Councilmember Raul Ureña and Calexico Mayor Pro Tem Gilberto Manzanares have been officially recalled. The official final results for the recall election just came in Monday. And today, more than 70% of all the votes counted were in favor of recalling both Ureña and Manzanares.
So at the end of the day, what does all this mean? This story is about community demanding accountability from its leaders, or is it a case where personal identity became a lightning rod for some deeper issues? Maybe it's a little both. I think Calexico struggles with corruption and financial mismanagement, and it's well documented. And I think Raul is just someone who was in the position of being mayor, and now, because they didn't do a good job, they want to blame it on transphobia or racism or some other ism that, even though it may be a part of the story, I don't think it's the leading reason why this person was kicked out of office. And I think now to claim this town is inherently anti-gay is nonsense when they voted this person in with 70% of the vote. And they voted them out with 70% of the vote when things went bad. But let me know how you feel in the comments section. Don't forget, as always, like, share, subscribe, do all the great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.